Hello, ma'am. It is nice to see you today. My name is Anastasia Strelkov, and I am the representative. Wait, who am I? Yes, I am the sales representative of. Bruh. My name is Anastasia Strelkov, and I am the sales representative of LinguaBridge, which hopefully will be the software to meet your needs today. So, first off, I would like to ask you a few questions. I understand that you are from a pharmaceutical firm and you are looking to expand into Canada, Mexico, and Brazil. But I want to get into the specifics a little more to learn a little bit about the details of your situation. So, first off, what is the optimal time frame during which you would like your employees to have learned the 3 languages? And second, are there any past software that may have missed the mark, let's just say, and why? And finally, what could get in the way of your sales representative team effectively learning the language from your perspective? Alright, that all makes perfect sense. Hopefully we can elaborate more on that as we go. So let me begin the presentation that I've got for you. So this is LinguaBridge, as we have shown. It is a software company that aims to connect the world through language, by having people learn each other's languages, and this is primarily for businesses, so you are the correct customer. So, just to get into more detail on how these lessons work and what they're all— oh my god, you idiot. So, I will begin explaining to you our software. Wait. No, that does not work. Why do you talk like that? Apologies. I really hate doing this, man. Okay. Alright, all of that absolutely makes sense, and I think we can work with that, actually. So, for LinguaBridge, I would like to tell you a little bit more about what it offers. So, our features are industry-specific language models, short and concise lessons, and AI-powered tools. Those are kind of the main defining traits of this software. However, in addition to that are also a few benefits, like fast market entry through quick training, client trust through cultural awareness, which we find is one of the most important aspects of language learning, because, you know, pharmaceutical language isn't the only thing that you would need when communicating with customers. So yeah, and finally, easy adoption. Your employees will be able to quickly access and use this software because it has a very intuitive interface. Now, getting into more detail on how exactly this software works. So, lessons are 15 minutes daily, and they're available across all devices. So, your sales representatives can access this in the morning on their phone whenever they wake up, or on their desktop computer when they get to work, and they can even access it in between meetings or at lunch or whenever they find it most comfortable. This is because we find flexibility to be one of the most important things. You know, your employees, they are already busy with the work schedule as it is, so it would be kind of tough to have this also have specific schedule requirements that they would have to meet. So that's why we make it completely up to them. As long as they keep up with the milestones, that is just their choice, how and when they want to do it, as long as they do it every day. Now, what the software actually offers. First, we have the AI simulator. This is a more new advanced tool, and basically what this is a one-on-one conversation between the user and the AI. And they can speak and type responses, and the AI will respond in the same fashion to either. And the user gets to choose the scenario that they find most applicable to their role or job. And the good thing about this is repetition. The AI makes sure to instantly highlight any possible grammatical errors or pronunciation mistakes, or just any mistakes in general. And it will signal that to the user on the screen, and it will make the user repeat a certain word or phrase until it is pronounced correctly. However, if, all efforts are exhausted and nothing ends up working out, then they can skip and come back to it later. So yeah, basically the good thing about it is that it offers instant feedback on your word choice and pronunciation. So it really amps up the speed at which your employee is learning. Okay, and next we have the vocabulary builder. Basically, this is a specific compartment in your app/website, one depending on which device you're using this on. And this is, like I said, a specific compartment that catalogs all of the vocabulary that the user learns. And this goes from simple nouns, conjunctions, and participles and particles, and it kind of puts it all into one place. And the more complex words are separated, so it's kind of level by level. And what this helps with is, like I said, memorization of impactful words and phrases. It helps the brain highlight what is actually important and what the user needs to remember. And then there is also repetition and incorporation into future material. So the words that the user learns, they don't just go away into a little library shelf. They are returned and they resurface back into future lessons for elaboration and progress. And also, this adapts based on the user role and target market. And a lot of the complex phrases and words are pharmaceutical terminology, which would be applicable to you. Next. Okay. Oh yeah, I remember what this is now. Okay. Apologies. This is the pronunciation coach. Basically, this is similar to the AI simulator, but not exactly. What happens here is the screen gives out a specific phrase and the user repeats the phrase out loud. This is more of a preparation for the AI simulator. And the app/website scores accuracy and clarity. Mispronunciation is highlighted, and the user once again repeats the phrase or word until they reach a satisfactory result. And once again, they can skip and come back to it later, to certain words later, if they keep failing and that is just really helpful. It's basically a prerequisite to the AI simulator. It's just the difference is that with the AI simulator, they would already have to know certain phrases to be able to communicate. Here, they're just learning them, they're just preparing. Next, this is a newer addition, but we find it one of the most important. You know, pharmaceutical terminology is important as it is, but understanding the culture of your clients, where they are from, their geography, their norms and cultural nuances is also just as important. So, through these cultural training modules, your learners will be able to get country-specific guidance. So they will learn the intricacies of the people's beliefs, the people's opinions, and maybe some political things. You know, maybe certain medicine that is allowed at pharmacies here isn't allowed there due to certain laws. So this will make sure to educate you about that. And finally, there will be mini quizzes and little test scenarios just to make sure that your sales rep actually remembers the information when they are thrust into real situations, so that they don't accidentally say, oh, maybe we should prescribe you this certain pill, and that pill isn't available in the country for whatever reason. So yeah, now I want to kind of solidify how your employees will be. Oh my god, this is over 10 minutes. Why? I want to solidify to you how your employees will remain stimulated and intrigued in the process. And I will do so by showing you this thing. So effortless progress. Your worry, your concern might be the fact that, you know, if our software and schedule is so flexible, then would employees actually be motivated to learn anything at all? Would the process be as fast as we promised it to be? And gladly enough, we believe it would. And a lot of other companies that we have worked with have tested this, and most of them have had very positive results, just as we had expected. So basically, the way in which we keep motivation up and keep stimulating our learners is through this model right here. We design our app like a game, or incorporating certain aspects of games into it, especially mobile games. So the way this happens is we have rewards for certain achievements. We have an achievement timeline that the user can view to see kind of how far they've gone. They have milestones, which are basically the things shown on the timeline, but it's also like a thing they get on their screen that kind of just tells them, oh, you have achieved this great milestone, you've gone through 4 modules on terminology about specific plant medicine. It's a very intuitive interface, and also your employees can compete with each other in a friendly way, of course. They can compete with each other via matches, and that competition is one of the driving forces behind why people play certain games. In fact, if you have to prove that, we have looked at a lot of the most popular, the most successful games, such as League of Legends. League of Legends is a game purely built on competition, so we kind of took from that model And we found that competition between language learners actually helps them learn their languages. So that is extremely helpful. And finally, like we have said, there's repetition of vocabulary and an AI simulator. So all of those things together kind of go into this full-on experience of learning the language. It's not just you looking at words, reciting words. No, it's you being put into all kinds of different scenarios. And really, it could just be a fun activity for a person who wakes up and just waits for their coffee to be ready. It's that easy. I have not even gotten to my pricing model. Oh yeah, I gave you the effortless card thing. I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore.